History, they say, is written by the victors. But what happens when history itself is a lie, a carefully constructed narrative designed to glorify the powerful and erase the contributions of the marginalized? The tale of the first circumnavigation of the globe is one such fabrication, a story that has for centuries unjustly crowned Ferdinand Magellan as its hero. This, however, is a distortion of truth, a theft of legacy from the one man who truly embodies the spirit of this extraordinary journey, Enrique de Malacca. Born in the Spice Islands, a paradise archipelago teeming with the aromas of cloves and nutmeg, Enrique de Malacca's early years were spent in a world rich with natural beauty and cultural vibrancy. The Spice Islands, known today as the Maluku Islands in Indonesia, were the epicenter of the global spice trade, attracting merchants and explorers from far and wide. The air was thick with the scent of exotic spices, and the land was a tapestry of green, dotted with clove trees and nutmeg plants. It was a place where the local communities thrived, living in harmony with nature and each other. Enrique's early life was brutally interrupted. Snatched from his family, enslaved and christened with a new name, his world was turned upside down. The bustling marketplaces where he once roamed freely became places of horror and despair. He was thrust into a life of servitude, his identity stripped away, and his future uncertain. The trauma of being torn from his homeland and sold into slavery was a wound that would never fully heal. He became the property of Ferdinand Magellan, a Portuguese explorer with a hunger for gold and glory. Little did Magellan know he had acquired more than just a translator, he had unwittingly gained a key to the very world he sought to conquer. Magellan, driven by ambition and the desire to find a westward route to the Spice Islands, saw Enrique as a valuable asset. But Enrique was more than just a tool for navigation. He was a living link to the lands Magellan yearned to explore. Enrique, fluent in Malay, Javanese, and likely other languages of the region, became Magellan's indispensable asset. He was the bridge between cultures, the voice that allowed the Europeans to navigate the treacherous waters of diplomacy and trade in uncharted territories. His linguistic skills and cultural knowledge were crucial in forging alliances and negotiating safe passage through hostile regions. Yet history remembers him as a mere footnote, a shadow in the narrative of his captor. Enrique's story is one of resilience and survival. Despite the hardships he faced, he played a pivotal role in one of the most significant voyages of the Age of Exploration. His ability to communicate and mediate between different cultures was not just a skill, but a lifeline for the expedition. He was the unsung hero who helped bridge the gap between East and West, facilitating the exchange of ideas, goods, and knowledge. The ships that navigated through tropical waters, guided by Enrique's translations, were more than just vessels of exploration. They were symbols of the interconnectedness of our world. The European explorers, who once saw the native markets as exotic and foreign, began to understand the complexity and richness of the cultures they encountered. Enrique's role in these interactions was invaluable, yet his contributions have largely been forgotten by history. Enrique de Malacca's legacy is a testament to the power of language and cultural understanding. Though he remains a shadow in the historical records, his impact on the Age of Exploration is undeniable. He was more than just a translator. He was a bridge between worlds, a facilitator of dialogue, and a key figure in the story of global exploration. It is time to bring his story out of the shadows and recognize the true extent of his contributions. The journey was fraught with peril from the outset. The vastness of the Pacific, the mutiny of his own men, the constant threat of starvation and disease, all tested Magellan's leadership and pushed his crew to the brink of madness. Enrique, witnessing the brutality of the colonizers firsthand, walked a tightrope between two worlds. He understood the languages, the customs, the hopes and fears of the people Magellan sought to subjugate, and he saw the darkness that lurked beneath the veneer of European civility. Imagine the relentless assault of the open ocean, the waves crashing against the hull, the wind howling through the rigging, and the constant motion that never lets you find your balance. The sea is a merciless adversary, indifferent to the suffering it inflicts. Weeks bleeding into months, the endless horizon offering no respite from the scorching sun or the biting wind. The days blur together, each one a struggle for survival. The sun beats down mercilessly, turning the deck into a furnace, while the nights bring freezing winds that cut to the bone. The stores dwindled, The water turned putrid, and scurvy gnawed at the bodies of the crew. The once strong men grew weak, their gums bleeding, their teeth loosening. Every day the rations grew smaller, the water more foul. Desperation set in as the hope of rescue faded. Men died, their bodies tossed overboard with a prayer whispered to the wind. Each loss was a blow to the morale of the crew, a stark reminder of their own mortality. The sea claimed them one by one as the survivors looked on with hollow eyes. Through it all, Enrique endured. His spirit unbroken, he faced the relentless challenges with a determination that inspired those around him. He was a beacon of hope in a sea of despair, his resolve unwavering even in the darkest moments. He navigated by the stars, his knowledge of the sea rivaling that of any European cartographer. With a sextant in hand he charted their course, his eyes scanning the heavens for guidance. The night sky was his map, the stars his compass, leading them through the vast uncharted waters. He understood the whispers of the wind, the language of the waves, the secrets that the ocean yielded only to those who truly listened. The sea spoke to him in a way it spoke to few others, revealing its mysteries to his keen senses. Enrique was not just a sailor, he was a master of the ocean, a navigator of both the physical and the spiritual realms of the sea. Section 5 Lapu-Lapu stand, the fall of Magellan and the rise of a legend. The Philippines, a land of emerald islands and fierce warriors. It was here on the shores of Mactan that Magellan's arrogance finally met its match. Lapu-Lapu, chieftain of Mactan, refused to bend the knee to the foreign invaders. Magellan, blinded by his own sense of superiority, led a disastrous attack, underestimating the courage and skill of the island warriors. The result was a massacre. Magellan, the self-proclaimed master of the seas, lay dead on a foreign beach, his dreams of conquest sinking beneath the waves. Section 6. The Silent Return. Did Enrique complete the circle? With Magellan gone, the expedition was in disarray. The survivors, leaderless and demoralized, scrambled for control. Enrique, his chains of servitude broken, saw an opportunity. Some historians believe he may have used his knowledge of the local languages and trade routes to finally achieve his own freedom. Could he have boarded a ship, disappearing into the labyrinthine waterways of Southeast Asia, returning at last to the land of his birth? Section 7. Betrayal in the Spice Islands, the Trinidad's fateful voyage. What is certain is that the remaining ships, laden with spices and haunted by the ghosts of their fallen comrades, limped their way across the Indian Ocean. The Trinidad, attempting to retrace the expedition's route eastward, was captured by the Portuguese. The few survivors who made it back to Spain faced imprisonment and accusations of heresy. Their stories, initially celebrated, were quickly suppressed, their accounts of hardship and loss deemed inconvenient truths by the powers that be. Section 8. A detailed timeline spanning several pages, starting with Enrique's birth and ending with Elcano's return to Spain. It highlights key events like Magellan's acquisition of Enrique, the mutiny of the Pacific crossing Magellan's death, and the fate of the remaining ships. Section 9. Enrique's legacy. A world connected, a hero forgotten. In the annals of history, there are tales that shine brightly, celebrated and remembered by all. Yet there are also stories that remain in the shadows, waiting to be brought to light. This is one such story. 5 centuries have passed since that first fateful voyage. The world has evolved in ways unimaginable to those early explorers. Cities have risen and fallen, empires have expanded and contracted, and the very fabric of our global society has been woven tighter and tighter. The world has changed beyond recognition. Continents once separated by vast oceans now connected by a web of communication and commerce. The intricate network of shipping routes and the invisible threads of digital communication have made our planet a smaller, more interconnected place. Yet the story of the first circumnavigation remains shrouded in myth and misconception. The journals and maps from that era tell a tale of adventure and discovery, but they also hide the truths of those who made it possible. Ferdinand Magellan, the colonizer, the conqueror, continues to receive the lion's share of the credit. His name is etched in history books, his deeds celebrated in countless narratives, but history as we know is often written by the victors, and Enrique de Malacca, the navigator, the linguist, the man who truly bridged the gap between East and West, remains largely forgotten. Enrique, a man of immense skill and knowledge, played a crucial role in the success of that monumental voyage. Let us remember him. Let us tell his story. Born in the Malay archipelago, Enrique was captured and enslaved by Magellan. Despite his circumstances, he became an invaluable asset to the expedition, using his linguistic abilities and deep understanding of the region to guide the crew through uncharted waters. Let us honor the legacy of the man who, though stolen from his home and forced into servitude, ultimately played a pivotal role in connecting the world. Enrique's journey was not just one of physical travel but also of cultural exchange and understanding. He was a bridge between worlds, a symbol of the interconnectedness of humanity. His story, though untold for far too long, is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, hope and courage can prevail. Enrique de Malacca's legacy is a beacon of light, urging us to look beyond the surface and recognize the contributions of those who have been overlooked. In remembering him, we honor the countless unsung heroes who have shaped our world.